Thank you very much. Supreme is next. Thank you very much. And Peter, it was a great talk. I love your product. I've used Prezi a lot in my life, and very, very good. I really recommend. If someone didn't raise the hand before, check it out. So my name is Triinu. I'm a co-founder and CTO at Neura. I'm very grateful and thankful to be here today. As you heard, I live in Israel, but I'm from Estonia, so I'm even more excited here to be after many, many years. I want to talk about, I think, one of the most important things in startups. Previous speakers, they touched the points, so I think it's a good flow. It's well set by the organizers. So I want to talk about the one of most important thing in startup. This is the thing that defines your success or failure in the startup. This is a thing that becomes the core values of the team, motivates your employees, gives you supportive shoulder or cold shoulder on your journey. This is the thing that investors are checking the most and scrutinizing on the early stage of the startups. It's a founders team. It's a relationships between the founders and the values and the traits they bring on the table. When I'm talking about the startup, the Neura, then a lot hear people telling me, oh my God, I was not able to run a startup with my husband or with my wife. And that's true. I founded a startup together with my husband. Like Ida here did the same. And with two co-founders. And I kind of understand it. It's a challenging road. I cannot say it's easy. We are like opposites of each other. One is the right side of the brain, other one is left side of the brain, and we argue a lot. Our co-founders love it. They say that good, thoughtful thoughts are coming out of that and great solutions to the problems, but we don't enjoy it so much. Moreover, back in 2013, this is the picture, these are the founders in the investor office. Some of the investors said that we will never invest in the startup where the co-founders are married to each other. I kind of understand where it comes from. 75% of the startups fail, and 50% of the marriages fail. Make your own math. But there is something. There are lots of startups where the co-founders are married couples. Some of them phenomenal companies like VMware, Eventbrite, or House, or SlideShare, or Clue today when we heard. So what is about it? What makes the difference here? What I have learned that the characteristics that make us to become a founder or entrepreneur are the same characters, the same traits that actually make us a good, resilient couple. So let's talk about that. When you start a startup today, I will definitely recommend you to really understand who are your co-founders, not only what kind of professional knowledge to bring it to the table, but also what kind of values, what kind of traits, can we share them, and how it can be on the road. Most of the startups don't do it. We didn't do either. When we started Neura, as you said, it started from a personal story, from my medical case. I and my husband joined hands. We said, yes, that's what we're doing. Two friends joined us. We packed the suitcases. We flew to America, started to iterate the idea with investors, customers, and market. And we didn't think about a lot. It was immediately the race car. But actually, on the road, we changed our product, I think 5 times. We went to go to market 2 or 3 times. So it was a test to resilience. Every time we failed, it was to learn, to change, raise up again, and try again. It's not the easy road. Only once I started to embrace the failure and understand that this is the part of my everyday. Every day you fail in the small decisions, what you make people to feel or what you thought, every day there is some failure. Only then I started to enjoy the road and actually was able to carry the load and become perseverance. We started the startup with 4 founders. Today, we are 3 founders in the company. One of us couldn't make it. It was too hard for him. It was ups and downs, and all of this took pieces from him. We tried to help him. We tried to find balance in the life, but he chose to go for a long vacation in Thailand and never came back to work at Neura. So what I learned from it, startup is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And you cannot hold your breath after every change and hope for a positive change. It might take too long, and you just lose the oxygen. You might die. So startup is, for me, game, very real game, with a passion and challenges that I play until at the end of this game. At the same time, I'm a mother too. I have also 2 small children. They are both born the years when I was running a startup. The names are Emma and Lumi. Family is very dear to me. It's very important to me. So perseverance is, for me, in the family life, like a dedication, like a wedding vows, that you promise that you are together and support each other in a bad, in a good, at the end of the lives. Not the story for many of us. We just heard about that as well. It wasn't a story of mine as well, almost. Because we also got to the point when we said that we cannot make it anymore. It doesn't work out. We're both leading a startup, both running. It's just too hard. But we are both entrepreneurs, and we both have a perseverance. We can carry the load. So we decided that we can also work out with our relationship and make it better. Humility, really being a humble, freedom of ego and arrogance, and actually deeply listening, really listening and understanding without the need to react. This is what was the key element for us here. I'm not a good listener. I wasn't so good at all. Maybe I hope a little bit better, or working for it. I and my husband, we had lots of patience towards our customers and our team, and we heard it was much different, but between us, we don't have any patience to each other. But when we started to deeply listen each other without need to react, I emphasize, no need to react. You want to react, you push it away. No reading react. You do meditation, you know what I mean. You don't want to react. Only then we started to actually understand each other's needs, see the soul. We started to support each other again, and we became closer. At the same time, anecdotally, I think that humility is the hardest trait for entrepreneurs. Because we founders, entrepreneurs, the breed of founders, we are the most self-confident people. We know what's the next innovation in the market. We know what are the solutions our customers' challenges. We know what's the tactics, what's the strategy. We know everything. That's the impression we bear every day, right? This is how we lead the things. But actually starting to really be humble and listen to our customers and to the market and the team, we can become better. We can be more successful. The ego and arrogance doesn't have a place in the motivation when we run the startup. For example, when we realized that one of our co-founders is going to leave the company, we came together and we understood that we have been very diverse founders team, and we liked it. So we decided to hire a CEO. We were worried, concerned, if the new CEO has resilience and perseverance, but it was sure for us, clear sure for us, and that we need to support him, we need to make him a place and space, we need to motivate him and help him to fulfill his potential. Today, he's completely one of us, fully motivated, true believer, in a bad and in a good. I think the fact that Neura succeeded here shouldn't be taken granted. We have heard lots of different stories here as well. And today, in Neura, our business is 2 times better than it was 2 years ago. think the fact that we got to that point, we have shared one common value, all of us, the hunger of growth. It's a hunger and courage to change, to learn and to change, to constantly reinvent yourself, your company, and your thoughts and your values. It sounds stressful? Not really. It's not really stressful when you manage to switch in your mind and understand that change is happening all the time. The company, the business is not there where it was yesterday. I'm not the same. I'm constantly changing. The people are changing. My partners are changing. My husband is changing. And to accept that change. Whereas the people, it's very easy. Yeah, of course, I'm changing. But you, I saw you 10 years ago. You are exactly the same. Not at all. We're all changing. Even the thoughts that I have today, they will be slightly different tomorrow. And once embracing the change and constantly reinventing, this what helps here. And this is what I have learned from entrepreneurships. And I have applied it to my marriage as well. I don't have to stay the couple who argues or fights all the time. I can change that too. If I can pivot to company, I can pivot to my marriage too. So the main 4 characteristics that make entrepreneurs survive are resilience, perseverance, humility, and hunger of growth. I think the hunger of growth is actually basis for all of them. Because when I would give up, then I think I lose my opportunity to grow. I give up my opportunity to grow, so I cannot give up. So the hunger of growth and courage to it, this is something that actually drives all of it. And whatever happens to Neura, I have got my lessons. I have got very significant heritage from Neura. I've understood that the same characteristics that make me as an entrepreneur are the same things that I can rely my marriage and my partnership on. And the road of Neura have been very bumpy. There's been ups and downs, lots of curves, but when I look back to it, I think it has been forth of it. So Neura is today the leading personalization provider in mobile engagement and mobile growth markets. We increase our customers' engagement, user engagement and retention multiple times in various industries like ride sharing and food delivery, telecos, medical wellness and health. We started from there as my personal story. Lots of content sharing customers. We understand the user's need and availability, and we push this knowledge to our customers that they can react and engage with the users in the right moment in users' daily life. This is the glance to the Neura team. And these people are carrying the same core values today that we talked about: humility, resilience, perseverance, and hunger of growth. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very interesting story. Do we have questions from the audience? I know we do. Are there only Estonians in this room? Priit, can you see that? There are only Estonians in this room, no questions. We have one, and he's an Estonian. That's a good example.
Yeah, I'm Estonian, but lived too long in US.
Like me.
Contaminated.
Contaminated, yes. Thank you for a great speech and really keen focus on growth and humility at the same time. What are your tips in pivoting a marriage into constant arguing, which both of you don't like, into more stable, more fresh, more ongoing? What did you actually do?
What we actually did. So it's really the switch of the mind. First of all, we always said there is a flame. Honestly, I sometimes said, I don't know, is there a flame? But you feel there is a flame. And we have children, so it helps, actually, in this case. But it's really, really starting to making a switch in the mind to understand that, By the way, the same thing that we are now talking, it was also one of the key moments when in our case we said, you know, the fact that we're entrepreneurs and we have this really helps here. So it's really a true story. And it's a lot of talkings. It's also asking a help, but it's not a one-day switch. It takes time, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Then you can feel, and then we can talk about power couples.
More questions? We have a question there.
Thank you. I agree with your values that you brought out, and you said that employees also share those values. My question is, how do you recruit them, or how do you evaluate it?
That's a great question. I love it. Sorry. I have got a little cold in Estonia, Israeli girl. Here it's hot, cold here. So, yeah, the culture values are very important for us. Actually, we as a founding team constantly knew that our values, how to spread them. I think we're all the time talking about expecting them. And honestly, I haven't hired people that are super smart, but don't carry the values that we have. So it has been a little bit, even non-talk, but we all walk the walk. I did lately, that's why I love the question, I did lately a survey in the company all about the values. And I went completely plain page, tabula rasa, and to see what it is. And it was really warming my heart, because this is what I got it back. I got back the things that were our values. I got back the things that we really impacted. Even when we were doubting sometimes what to do, this reflected back. And now it's in all over the hiring process. Everyone knows. The person is not a team worker, not this, not humble. You are not belonging to that team. And this is what we also in the market, in Israeli market, you talk about competition here. In the HR market, there are lots of startups, lots of companies, very hard competition. So you also actually do employee branding. You say, what are my values? And the people with such similar values will come and join you. So, yeah, you shout out what you want, what your values, what you do, and then you look for these people. And lots of employee brings the employee things, and you talk about them. We have them in the walls, and
there was one more.
It's like not tolerating it when it's not like that.
One more question here.
Hi, it's Victor from Poland. I have a question like, which parts of your Israeli experience would you find most, valuable or supportive, or like which parts of the, Israel, or what's there was the most, you found the most value, or what I mean, like as opposed, for example, to where you were here, because Israel is like interesting place, right? There are different things that are different, so I wanted to ask you about that.
You mean that what kind of Israeli values like can help in the entrepreneurship?
Yeah, or what helps there? Yeah, exactly. Is it the approach of people, or the organizations that are there, mindset?
The question basically is, why are you doing your startup in Israel? Right? Kind of like,
or
why is it a good place to do it?
Yeah.
I actually lived there before. So I was there already before, working there 5 years or more in high tech, and there I started a startup. So, but actually, when I went to Israel, I said that I was a manager I was in high tech in Estonia before, and I was a manager as well. And when I went to Israel, I said, I will never want to manage any Israelis. No management in Israel. Everyone is such a big, everyone knows so well, no humble so much, and very hard people to handle them. And today I manage 40 people, so never say never. But I think what's cool with Israelis and the mindset is, it's a long story. I'll try really to say very few things. I can talk an hour about that. I think the geopolitical situation actually pushed them a lot to innovation. They don't have friends around them, so they have most of it the desert. You all see the Eurovision now, definitely. So there are lots of clips in the desert. So you don't have water, you don't have a land, and the hard conditions push you to innovate. Is it then security, lots of cyber security things, and lots of the water. They drink actual seawater. They make it sweet before. So there are the tomatoes that you eat here, they grow in the desert. So lots of great
A
innovation.
lot of restrictions, actually, but they innovate nevertheless. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's push you because you
have to,
cannot
right?
enjoy. You have to.
Okay, I have to cut you, sorry.
Thank
We're
you.
running out of time. Thank you once more. Give a big applause for Triinu.